What is up, Nerf Nation? I'm Naptown Nerf, and this is an unboxing and review of the Air Warriors Covert Squad blasters. So let's go ahead and look at the box real quick and go over some of the features, because this thing has some pretty cool features. This thing actually has built-in walkie-talkies into the stock here, and that's really cool. So you can communicate with your teammate and kind of strategize, which I think is awesome, and it's probably the most fun, best part of actually playing Nerf is strategizing and coming up with a strategy to defeat your opponent. I think that is just really good skills to learn, and I think it's really cool that they have kind of put that into a blaster. So that's really neat. I think Nerf did this a long time ago, put walkie-talkies into the blasters. I can't remember the names of them, but I feel like this has been done before, but not for a long time, so I think this is pretty darn cool. Now, this is obviously sold in a dual pack, which I think is awesome, so you don't each have to buy a blaster to be able to actually use the walkie-talkie function, so I think it's really cool. They put two of them in the box. Comes with earbuds, so you can plug in and so your opponents can't hear what you're talking about in theory, so that's pretty cool. But it also has a speaker here, so if you don't want to use the earbuds, that's also an option. Comes with 8 long-distance darts, so that's pretty neat. This thing is supposed to fire up to 100 feet, and that is typical Buzzbee performance, so that's really awesome, and we will definitely take this thing outside, put it over the chronograph in the range, and see if it's getting that kind of performance. Go ahead and check out the back of the box here. So these blasters do come with 2 channels, which is really cool, so you can actually compete against somebody that's using the same blaster and not interfere with their communication with their teammates. So I think that's pretty cool that they actually do have 2 channels on this blaster. So let's go ahead, crack this thing open. So included in the package, you get your 2 Covert Squad blasters, 2 sets of earbuds, 8 long distance darts, and some directions. Alright, you guys, so we're just going to look at one blaster, as both blasters are exactly the same, but this is a bolt action blaster, so you're going to pull this back to prime the blaster. You're going to take one dart and just drop it in to the breech, and then you can just push that forward, and it goes right over the dart, and then bring that bolt down, and your dart is ready to be fired. So we'll go ahead and fire this off real quick. That thing's got some pop, so that's a good sign. So also you have a Buzzbee rail on top, so you could put that thermal scope that comes with the Thermal Hunter or Thermal Tracker I just did a review on. That will fit on there. Or you can use their Buzzbee adapter and put that on, and then put any sort of Nerf attachment you want onto that. So it's definitely nice that they have that rail there if you want to use it that way, but this does not come with any sort of scope or any attachment that goes on that rail. The grip of the blaster is a little awkward, but not horrible, I don't think. I'll have to play with it a little bit more to see how uncomfortable or comfortable it is, but I can get my hand around there. But obviously this is designed for a smaller Nerfer. It is a very small miniaturized sniper rifle, so they probably don't have me in mind, obviously, to be using this kind of a blaster. I definitely think this is meant for a younger Nerfer, and I think that's really cool because obviously we have lots of different Nerf blasters on the market that some are designed for older Nerfers, and it's nice to have some that are designed for kids that are even under 8 years old. And I think these say they're 6 and up, and I think that's pretty accurate. It does require a little bit of effort to be able to prime that. I'm not sure somebody younger than 6 would be able to prime this blaster, but if you're 6 or up, I think this would be very okay to use. Obviously the stock is very, very short, so I'm not sure if a small child would be able to use that stock, but maybe. But yeah, probably not really meant to be used as a stock, but it does hold that walkie-talkie feature, which is pretty cool. This is the speaker right here, so you can hear out of this, or you can put your earbuds right here and put them into the earphone jack right there, and then you can put your earbuds into your ears. Obviously there is an on-off switch right here, so you can turn it to one channel or the other. But before you can do any of those things, you have to install 3 AAA batteries in the back. So we'll go ahead and do that right now. There we go, and now we're ready to rock and roll. So like I said, the switch right here, you can move that back and then you'll get a red light, and that is channel 1. Or if you move it all the way forward, you will get a green light, and that is channel 2. So the color indicates what channel you're on. So that's pretty neat and pretty easy to tell what channel you're on looking right at the top of the blaster. I think that's really nice that they've put that there so you can know what channel you're listening into. So that's pretty cool. And then the middle setting is your off setting, so make sure you turn it off or you're going to run your batteries down. So we can hold this down and be able to communicate through our walkie-talkie when the other one is obviously on. You'll have to hold this down, say whatever you have to say, and then let it go so then you can hear the other person. We will definitely do a full test of this outside with some blasting here in a minute, so don't worry about that. Other than that, you do not get any sort of attachment point on the front to add a longer barrel. It is a very weird looking sniper rifle as it's very small, not a very long barrel, but that is going to help our performance, so you could look at it as a positive or a negative. So this blaster also has a small grip in front, so you can hold your blaster there, but you can really hold it wherever you want. It's not really more comfortable to hold it there than anywhere else, in my opinion. So that's more just for aesthetics, I think. But nevertheless, this blaster is definitely a cute little thing. So we'll go ahead and take this thing outside, see how it does on the chronograph and the range, and see how well these walkie-talkies function. All right, you guys, we're going to go ahead and take the Covert Squad blaster and shoot it over the chronograph and on the range here, see what kind of performance it's getting. And I'll do some long distance darts, which is what it came with, some elite darts and some AccuFakes to give us a kind of a comparison to all different types of darts and see how it does. So here we go. Wow. That went so far to the left, I don't even think I'll be able to find that one. 128. That's crazy. Try again. Oh, well, that one hit the the house at 91. Not very accurate, these darts are. They are even worse than elite darts. That one went straight into the ground and it duplicate 91. Again, straight into the ground, 93. Again, straight into the ground at 90. 89. One more long distance dart. 91. Try an elite dart. 80. 78. 86. 80. Try a few AccuStrikes. Duplicate 80. 81. 80. So I would say 80 FPS is about where it's at if you compare it with elite darts or AccuStrike, AccuFake darts. You know, all the other blasters, that's what we usually test with. Those long distance darts are super light and super inaccurate. So the short ones are right around in here, right around that 30-foot range. And there's an elite dart there at 32, but there's 3 long distance darts and 2 elites in that 32 foot range. We have an AccuStrike here just short of 34. We have 2, the other 2 are right just short of 37. And then we have a long distance dart over there, 39 feet. 2 elites here right around that 47-48 foot range. That one hit the house and that one ended up at 51, but you know, who knows really how far it went. There's one over there at like 48, and then there's another one. That first one flew all the way over here, like literally like probably 40 feet off the target. Like, that's really far away. That's insane. We'll see what the range was, even though it was so far away. 80 feet, but you wouldn't hit anything at that distance, obviously. So now we're gonna go ahead and test out those walkie-talkies. All right, we're gonna test out these walkie-talkies. I'm gonna go across the pond so we can test out the range, and Jill's gonna stay here and we're gonna have a very boring conversation, but we will test them out. So we're going to flip them to red, so towards the stock. So our red lights are on, so we're set. And then I'm going to pull out the walkie-talkie or the earbud feature first, and we'll try it without, and then we'll try it with the earbuds. I'm guessing these earbuds are not the greatest, but you can use any headphones you shall desire in there. So I'm going to take a walk. Let's see if it works here. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Over.
Yes, I can. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I do not hear you. Can you hear me? Over. Now I heard something. Make sure you're pushing down on the button the entire time. Can you hear me? Over.
I can hear you just fine.
Now I hear you.
I just realized I was not talking into the speaker. Over.
LOL. Over. Okay, walking further. Over. Alright, I'd say this is probably 200 feet or so, maybe a little further than 200 feet, but, you know, pretty good range. They say these work up to 300 feet, so if it can do this kind of range, I'd say that's pretty good, because I can't imagine you're going to have a Nerf war in too much bigger space than this with this blaster. So let's go ahead and see if she can hear us. Can you hear me? Over.
I can hear you, but it's a little staticky. Absolutely not. I cannot hear you better. I have no idea what you just said.
I can hear you, but it's a little staticky.
You were coming in pretty clear there, so that's good. Can you hear me better now? Over.
Absolutely not. I cannot hear you better.
All right, we'll try with these earbuds. I'm sure they're not the best, but they probably will work okay.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. It's a little staticky, but I can hear you.
I can hear you. It's a little staticky, but I can hear you. Can you hear me pretty well?
Yours is mainly staticky at the end of your transmission.
Alrighty, I'm heading back. It works pretty well, but it's not perfect, obviously. Over. Alright, you guys, so I think the blaster's pretty cool. A little small, so definitely probably for a younger adult, more like a child, but pretty good. Has pretty darn good power, is getting really nice performance. Ranges were pretty good, not great, but the FPS numbers were nice. The walkie-talkie function is, I would just say, okay. It's definitely not the best. A little staticky, a little hard to hear sometimes. Range was okay. When we tried closer range, we were still having basically the same sort of audio issues, so the range really didn't play a role in how well we could hear each other. If you get too close together, you're going to have a lot of static, but that's pretty much the case with almost every walkie-talkie like this. So I think the blaster is pretty darn sweet. Covert Squad guy here is pretty darn awesome. So if you think that this is a cool blaster, I'd recommend picking one up, but probably not the most war practical for somebody that's a really avid Nerfer. So thank you guys so much for watching. Smash that like button. Please subscribe. And as always, peace out.
You